Just saying.
What's the AIA ban us?
Yeah, like ASC revokes my membership.
It was super non-linear. So in high school, I was very involved in environmental related groups and started a club at my school. And then went to college thinking pre-med to sort of treat some of the issues. Further I went into it, I started feeling like prevention was such an important piece that was missing. So I considered switching into something involving agriculture, specifically permaculture. And I took my first landscape architecture class, which was a plant ID class. That's how I ended up finding landscape architecture and realizing that I could channel all these other issues that I was having problems with to something more constructive.
Mm-hmm. In high school, I really was into science, and like as a hobby, did art. Really saw it as something that I could like put together. But my mom was like, "You will make no money," so she.
Maybe so mad you just dragged her up the web.
Well, no, she like
It's true.
So I went into engineering, which she was not happy about either, because she's like, no, it's so dry. And she was right.
And then worked in building technology and like life cycle assessment, material testing for about 2 years. And I was just very disillusioned with the fact that engineers don't view sustainability, or these engineers at least I was working with in Boston, which is a very like progressive place, weren't viewing sustainable engineering as something necessary. They're viewing it as something that the client has to request. So I started like writing papers about how civil engineering should incorporate ecological engineering and all of this stuff. And then when Robert was discovering landscape architecture, he was sharing the principles with me, and I was like, well, that's what I've been trying to get from civil engineering this whole time. And so like his kind of foray into landscape architecture helped me also.
Drawn to cultures that have a lot of more sort of ancestry-based philosophies, where they see themselves more as sort of the temporary curators and protectors of, our space in our time period. So for me, I feel like I don't want to leave any particular object, any particular company, especially through landscape architecture. I want to sort of change our culture that rather than telling people in the future this is what you'll have, like I want to help make a culture that can sort of continue on indefinitely, and people will just keep having the tools to do what they need to do in whatever form that takes. So if I die and you scrap all the stuff I made, I'm like, well, I'm dead.
Not necessarily concerned with like, if I'm working on a project, being like, I did it. More interested in like empowering the people that I'm working with, or like the project that I'm working with to empower the community that's going to use them. And I think like, especially as like a white person, I don't think I need any more recognition. Like I want to empower communities and people that are doing all of this great work and not being recognized for it.
In the design world, like there's sort of these cults around these architects and all these people who they make these beautiful objects, but there is no discourse ever about how these massive structures that involve resource extraction, involve communities that you're affecting, that you're building in this world, that they're affecting not just that singular lot that they're building on.
It would be enough to just go to a project that I worked on and to see people enjoying it and for it like helping their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care if there's a plaque that said Mara made this. We are going to Lincoln Memorial Park, which is the largest historic Black cemetery in South Florida. And I have kind of been working with it for the past year, more trying to get all of these groups together. But basically this cemetery has history from 1924 to 2019 of like Black pioneers in Miami. Like really important people are buried there, but it's filled up and it's no longer profitable. What we're doing is trying to work with her and with the community of Brownsville to see how we can create a community park that they will actually enjoy and be able to connect with their history and with
ASLA is the American Society of Landscape Architects. We are the president and vice president of our student chapter. So it's an interesting ecological, social dialogue happening on the site. As for the passion of plants, I think it's just something that comes from my family. We're Puerto Rican and Dominican, and Gas was saying earlier that his Haitian people have so much connections to the plants.
I mean, my family is kind of the same, except we're from the other side of the globe. My family is mountain people from Romania. My parents always had this respect for nature and would always take me we would always go to the middle of upstate New York to go see the leaves change every fall, which is a pretty basic white people thing to do. But we would go, we would hike, we would always be in nature. It's just how I grew up.